This is Rattling Run that runs beside the Bordner Cabin. This is the back of the center pier that's washing out. The water had worked behind it in high water and also eroded the bank. The foundation is good, but we need to create a cement wall here, a retaining wall. The next pier seems fairly stable, but the first pier up here is totally washed out. And as you can see, all of the stone washed into the creek, and it's here somewhere. That are made from the old, I believe it's sandstone. Flat area where the wood shop once stood. We replaced the roof. That was the first thing we did when we got the lease, because there was barely any tar paper. It was just scraps of tar paper. And of course you can see all the hand-hewn logs that comprise the entire structure, the rafter system, as well as the inside and outside walls. And right here we have a mountain of ferns and hemlocks, the Pennsylvania state tree. I think we'll complete our outside tour and then move to the inside. There is a pathway that we hope to eventually make handicap accessible by coming up the bank next to the steps we just came up. And back here, there is a bit of a breathtaking view of the Aycrigg Falls. Of course, we're coming around the back of the cabin, but here's Rattling Run again. And would you look at the magnificence of Lebanon County's only waterfall. It's hard to believe that at the top of this waterfall is Route 81, which is an interstate highway. Also, at one time, Benjamin Aycrigg owned this land, and in honor of Benjamin Aycrigg, Armar Bordner had named this Aycrigg Falls. Aycrigg is inscribed in the rock, the largest boulder that I see, right by the falls. It happens to be spelled wrong. There should be a Y between A and C. It's A-Y-C-R-I-G-G-S. Nonetheless, lots of last names got changed as America got settled, so we'll live with that. It still lets people know the name of the falls, and it's just magnificent to behold. And we're very, very fortunate to have this on the Blue Mountain here as part of Lebanon County. Right now I'm standing on the east side of the falls to view the back of the cabin. When we take a group shot, we're going to go to the west side of the falls. There's a magnificent platform up here of a larger rock. You can see it up there. And from that angle you get just the most spectacular view of the cabin. And that's where we hope to take care of it. Alex Baylor, an Eagle Scout, had worked on enforcing this stone wall that Armar originally built right in this area, and it contains the falls to the boundaries that it should be. And there's another wall of rock right here. Down at the base of the cabin, the wall fell in and it looks like steps, but that wall needs to be recreated as well to keep the water from going in and around the other side of the cabin with the high water. Because of the damaged pier, we don't allow people on the porch right now, but the porch is stable otherwise on top. We'd like to put another layer of decking on just for reinforcement. The windows and doors are missing because at one time the park system had scheduled the cabin for demolition. What we have learned is that this cabin is 70 years old. Whoops. And it's eligible for historic designation. The main thing that we found to protect this cabin is that it is rustic architecture created by the National Park Service. The only architecture ever created by an agency, so to speak. And of course it's made from hand-hewn logs. And inside there's this mammoth stone fireplace that Armar built And he created that from rocks that he found on the site as well. So this site tried to blend into nature, and by doing so became an attraction in itself. Here's the entrance to the cabin. And we have no electricity or lighting, so it's going to be dark in here. Please forgive me, I'll apologize ahead of time. But you will be able to see out the windows, at least, and the doors. That's the view to the porch, which is looking west. Here we have the view, actually it's like a framed picture of the falls because of the window that looks out onto the falls. Isn't it magnificent? How would you like to wake up to that every morning? That wall is on the south side of the cabin, or the rear. And on the walls we have all kinds of signage. And here's a will survive us. This picture of Armar and his dog was on file at the Lebanon Daily News, who did an article on Armar J. Bordner. We actually have a plaque with his birth, November 1st, 1904, and he passed away November 20th, 1994. We've also set up some picnic tables inside, so those who want to stop and enjoy the view, paint a picture, snap a picture, get married here, or just have a picnic lunch can enjoy this. We wanted to make it open for the public, and the picnic tables are here for your use. We do ask that you carry out your trash. We don't want any animals coming around and causing us harm. You can see all of the railings and everything are like a geometric lace. It's really amazing, the detail work that went into this place. We also had one of his former students send us a copy of his yearbook with Armar's initials in it. We thought that was pretty neat. And we have a history of sorts pasted on the walls. The adults seem to enjoy the history the most, and the kids love climbing the rocks. At one point we also got copies of the original blueprints that were shared with us, and we have those posted on our website, swatarawatershed.com. There are other active links there to ning.com and Facebook where you can get more information. There's 2 bedrooms downstairs, and this is one. Here is the other. Nothing lavish, but certainly functional. And he actually built closets into the cabin. I'm sure it's dark and you won't be able to see much. You'll have to trust me that they're there. Yes, there was indoor plumbing, but we had to close up all the holes and remnants of the plumbing. It's behind the fireplace. So that's kind of a nice feature. You might have thought it was an outhouse, but it wasn't. And here there's a set of, 3 steps that go into what could have been a master bedroom. It's a little bit larger than the rest. And it also has an interesting trap door here that opens up and goes down to the garage. I can only imagine that he passed firewood and groceries and things up to his wife, Margaret. And you can see he had plumbing. There's an old cast iron pipe that's left over. Again, it's very dark, but another thing that kids really enjoy is the ability to go up and look off of the loft. The loft is on the 2nd story overlooking the living room, and it's just a neat little place to sit when we have gatherings. And there is another bedroom up there. We'll go up and take a look. Now, as we get labor and industry approval, we'll probably have to close this room off because the ceilings are slanted and open, and they tell us the ceilings in a labor day is probably 5'10", maybe 6 foot at the most. And from up here you can see the construction of the rafters. Pretty ingenious the way the whole thing came together, actually.